Good evening, friends. I'm Hardik Shah, one of the directors of YPS, and I welcome you all to the season 2, episode 3 of YPS Live Meet. And today I'm joined by the treasurer of YPS, S. Chandrasekhar. Hi, Chandrasekhar, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Namaskara.
Namaskara. Yeah. So today's topic is all about butterflies, and we all know if you don't, just Google it. Why butterflies are so important for our ecosystem? You would be. It's quite fascinating, and it's really important to know why, and we take steps towards it. And today's presenter, Mr. Sammilan Shetty, will be talking about the butterfly, his journey, and he'll be showing us his wonderful images. Now, before we jump into today's session, here are the few announcements. The important one to start with is that the YPS Meet Live will now be streamed every first and third Sunday, and the Saturday Meet, that is, which happens on Saturday, will be on second and fourth of every month. Second Saturday and fourth Saturday of every month. Now, coming to next YPS Meet Live, that is episode 4. It's from Mr. Arvind Chenji from Hyderabad, who is one of the top commercial photographers in India, and he is the current president of Telangana Photographic Society, formerly known as Andhra Pradesh Photographic Society. He'll be talking about what's with the photography world. The photography is evolved, in style, in equipment, and in expectations, and we all know that change is the only constant in life, and stagnation signifies the end. So it's going to be a talk come presentation. So this is happening on 7th of March at 5:30 p.m. on YPS Facebook and YouTube. Coming to our Drishti, January edition is out. We'll be receiving the February edition soon. The important point here is that you don't need to log in anymore. You don't need to log in anymore to download the copy. All you need to do is go to the website ypsbengaluru.com, click on the Drishti stand, and you can download the copy right away. And if you have read the copy, I would request you to provide us the feedback. It can be positive, it can be negative. Both really helps. That is how we improve. So, how can you actually give a review or a feedback? All you need to do is send a WhatsApp message on our official number, that is 9513 YPS PLR, that is 951 977 257. It's that simple. Also, in last live, we opened this 50 years logo. We launched this 50 years logo. So this is the current 50th year running, and it's really huge for all of us. And we will be coming up with more information about the 50 years, the glorious 50 years. Now, coming to the last announcement, and after that, we'll be starting the session. So, if you want to become a YPS member, it's pretty straightforward. You can scan the QR code on the screen, what you're seeing, or else you can go to ypsbengaluru.com and click on Become a Member. The whole process is completely digitalized. You can become a member within a jiffy. Also, importantly, do not forget to follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Our handle across all is same @ YPS Bengaluru. Right now, if you're watching it on Facebook, do hit the like and the share button. If you're watching it on the YouTube, do hit the subscribe button and click on that bell icon on the right bottom so that you get notified whenever we put some content on the YouTube and whenever we go live. Now, another important announcement is that somehow the YouTube comments have been disabled. So if you're watching it on YouTube, I feel quite few members are watching it on YouTube as well. I would request you to watch it on the Facebook so that if you have any comments, if you want to connect with us, leave some feedback, or talk about the images, share your thoughts, come on the Facebook. It's simple, just facebook.com/ypsbengaluru/live, and the comments are working there fine. But there has been some update on the YouTube, and because of which the comments are disabled. Also, before we start the presentation, do make sure that your resolution is set to 720p. And on the Facebook, if you are seeing any subtitles at the bottom of the screen, those are auto generated and not from our end. So request you to click on the CC button and turn them off. Yeah. So without further ado, let's go towards the presentation, and I hand it over to Chandru. Over to you.
Namaskara. Good evening to all. We at YPS are celebrating 50 glorious years of light, promoting art of photography. Yes, it is our golden jubilee year.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So it gives me immense pleasure by introducing our own butterfly man of Karnataka, Mr. Sammilan Shetty, who is here today. Namaskara, Sammilan.
Namaste.
Welcome to YPS. So my first question to you is, how did you fall in love with butterflies?
It was during my college days when I was allotted a project on study of local butterflies. I first started learning about butterflies at Aloes College, Bengaluru.
I can't hear you properly.
Are you able to hear me now? I'm audible now?
Volume is low, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit low. Let me try to fix it from here. If not, we'll try to see if it can.
I'm audible.
Um, yeah, can you try now? Yeah, can you speak now? I just changed some settings in the backend.
Okay. My interest
Yeah.
for butterflies developed during my college days when I was doing my BSc at Aloes College, Bengaluru, and I was allotted a project on study of local butterflies.
Uh, Friends, I would like to introduce Mr. Samilin Shetty to you all. It's a brief note I am going to read. Being born and brought up in village Belwai near Mudabidri of Dakshina Kannada district, the natural instinct to conserve wildlife and nature influenced a lot in his life. His special interest for butterflies grew when he was allotted a project on study of local butterflies by his zoology teacher, Professor Ashok CH. During his graduation days at Alwas College, Mudbidri, since then he was been keen observing the winged beauties, dedicated himself to conserve them. At the age of 19, he recorded about 30 species. They had wild patch of Clerodinarum viscosum, which was used to attract many butterflies, including endemic Malabar banded peacock. He was so fascinated by this butterfly that he spent waiting for it near flowering patch with his camera. He managed to click his first photograph of this beauty with his Kodak Easy camera, which was gifted by his brother until 2013. He had recorded about 70 species of butterflies in his backyard. The Butterfly Park in Belwai, which was founded by him in the year 2011 with the aim of conserving butterfly fauna and western Ghats, also creates awareness among the general public and students, making them understand the importance of butterflies in nature. His 100-minute documentary film Life of Butterflies, released last season, reveals the interesting facts about the butterflies of their history. He'll be showing that video. The footage of documentary was shot exclusively in Butterfly Park by him in 4 years span. He was featured in Amazing Indians season 3 by Times Now as an exceptional eco savior in 2013 for his work on butterfly conservation. The Butterfly Park at Belwai, also honored by Book of Records London, UK in 2018 for hosting awareness programs and conservation activities. He was awarded Popular Choice Award in 2020 by Deccan Herald at DH Changemakers 2020 event. So here I welcome Mr. Sammilan Shetty to go ahead and show you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So today I'll be talking about my journey with butterflies. I'll be focusing on two main works. One is the Butterfly Park at Bengaluru. Another one is the movie Life of Butterflies, which I shot exclusively at the Butterfly Park, and it was released in 2019. So let me just start the presentation. I'm audible to you.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so here in the photo, you are seeing the Malabar banded peacock, one of the iconic butterflies of Western Ghats. And it is the logo of the butterfly park, the graphic imitation of the same Malabar banded peacock. This was the one butterfly which has fascinated so much. This butterfly is also the state butterfly of Kerala, and it is very common in the coastal strip of the Western Ghats. And it breeds only on one huge tree called Xanthosarum red sam. There is no other reported host for this particular butterfly. Uh, Let me just, before starting the presentation, also tell why butterflies are important in nature. First and
Uh,
foremost is that
Samilan,
they
just
act.
sorry to interrupt. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Is there any video being played back on some other device? The same video because I'm hearing a loop back on some other device.
One minute.
If it's on the iPhone, you can just put the earphones to the iPhone so that the volume doesn't come back to the laptop.
Okay. Now it is focused.
No,
Now,
I believe there is some other.
is it fine now?
Yep, it's better.
Okay, okay. Uh, so I told I'll be discussing about two things. I would like to share two things, two work of mine. First thing, let us talk about the movie Life of Butterflies. As far as Life of Butterflies is concerned, it was my dream project, and I shot for this movie almost for about 5 years, capturing some of the most breathtaking, butterfly footages, and also some of the behavior what I was being shown in this documentary were not actually known to the butterfly world. They were the first ever recorded behavior in the butterfly world. It was released by the Butterfly Man of India, Isaac Kemker, on 20th of September 2019 at Alwas College, Mudbidri. To come up with this documentary, actually, I got inspired by one of the visitors at the park whom I was shooting butterflies. He also borrowed my 100 macro lens. He had a Canon 70D camera, and he used to shoot butterflies. That was in 2014. 2000 at the end of the 2013, in fact. I also loved watching documentaries narrated by David Attenborough, like any nature lover would do. I started shooting for this documentary in 2014 at the Butterfly Park, and these are the cameras which were used to shoot the footages. Sony RX10 Mark II camera for taking the slow motion captures, especially which comes in the documentary Life of Butterflies, and I use both Canon 70 and 80D with 100 macro lens and Reynolds 250 filter also for getting some extreme close-up shots. It begins, let me just tell you about the documentary. It begins with the introduction to the forest and later butterflies. It speaks about the Western Ghats and the endemic Malabar banded peacock. We have actually shown the entire life of this elusive butterfly. In fact, its life cycle is elusive, I can say, because the Malabar banded peacock butterfly is usually known to lay eggs and the canopy. It takes you on a journey of life of butterflies, describing the park that is dedicated to butterflies, the arrival of the pre-monsoon showers, triggering butterfly activity, followed by the southwest monsoon. So we are located in between the foothills of the Western Ghats and the coastal strip of the Ghats. During when the pre-monsoon showers fall, the butterflies, they start migrating. Some of them might migrate to the eastern Ghats from the western Ghats, and some of them from the core Ghats might come down to the foothills or come down to the coastal strip. And you see butterfly activity in the coastal strip or in the foothills, and it reaches peak in August September. To avoid harsh weather or harsh monsoon, that is one of the reasons why the butterflies migrate. And you see the season of butterflies starting from the month of June, which will go up in the month of November, and August, September. You see the activity at the peak. The 100 minute film then showcases the natural history of butterfly behavior, their life cycle, and their role in the natural world. Let me just play this movie for you. It is just the beginning of the movie. Later, Hardik is going to show us the trailer as well as a part of the movie. So before that, I would like to show the beginning of this movie. Okay, just watch it. So this is how the movie begins. Let us move to the next slide. This is the aerial shoot of the butterfly habitat. The total land what we have dedicated for butterflies is 7.35 acres, out of which there is 4 acres of secondary forest. We have not yet understood the importance of secondary forests completely. These forests are very much important as far as butterflies are concerned, because this will be the breeding ground for the butterflies mostly in the month of June, July, August. When the monsoon is at the peak, the butterflies just cannot thrive. The harsh weather, they come down here to the secondary forest to breed. That's the reason why you see butterflies breeding here in secondary forest, because they just take local migration. Of course, the forests in the core guards are protected under the name of sanctuaries or reserves, and nobody is allowed to touch. But the secondary forest, most of the secondary forests what we have are in the private land. So these are the actual breeding ground for the butterflies in the month of June, July, August. So it's very important that we conserve not only for butterflies but for the different faunal population which thrive on these forests. So the forest what we have dedicated is 4 acres and which is untouched for more than 40 years now. And the remaining land is was a paddy field earlier, which have been slowly converted into a butterfly habitat. This was the during the aerial shoot. We had a one-day aerial shoot for the documentaries. Except the aerial shoots, the entire footages for the documentary was taken by me, and this was taken by Dr. Prithviraj and his team. The aerial shoot for the documentary. I would like to share some of the interesting scenes that I enjoyed during the shooting. This was when it was raining heavily. I alone shot this by holding camera, one hand camera, and another operating my camera with the other hand. Uh, so this was a stream in the backyard of the butterfly habitat. Uh, Here is a southern birdwing, the state butterfly of Karnataka, the butterfly which is endemic to South India in the range. This is a southern birding male, a territorial male. The southern birdings are highly territorial in behavior. So this is a screenshot of the video actually. So you don't have a very clear photo. The southern birding males are highly territorial. They actually choose territory which is rich in host and nectar plants. It know because it knows that the female would normally come there. Females, the southern birding are usually wanderers. They don't stay in a place. They move from place to place in search of the host plant. The male should settle down in a place. So we have taken the entire footages of the male patrolling its area, and when a female comes, male starts to display. The display might go for up to an hour also. Sometimes. So this is southern birding female entering the territory, and this is how the display starts. Here is the footage of the screenshot where the southern birding is laying eggs on grass plates, and it is actually shooting the eggs on grass plates. So let me just tell you one thing that butterflies are host plant specific. Each and every butterfly has got its own host plant to breed. So one importance of butterflies in nature is that they act as bioindicators. They indicate how rich is our ecological system. By looking at a butterfly in your area, you can actually tell the floral diversity of the area, or the floral diversity in a forest. So when you have these host plants, when you have these nectar plants, but the butterfly which are related to that particular host plants will be found in that location. Here's a parasitic wasp which is laying eggs on the egg of the southern birdwing. So the southern birdwing usually don't have birds as their predators because they're toxic butterflies. There are parasitic wasps which actually control the southern birdwing population. They actually destroy most of the eggs laid by the female southern birdwing. So the female southern birdwing actually uses a technique of laying the eggs away from the host to escape threats from the parasitic wasp, but it's not necessarily that in all cases it works. You can see here the wasp has found the egg on the dead twig of Ziziphus, and it has come away from the host. So normally the parasitic wasp will be searching for the eggs of the southern birdings in the host plant itself, but sometimes they might go out of the host plant in search of the eggs of the southern birding butterflies. This is one more interesting scene. What I observed during the shoot was this is a caterpillar, a fully grown caterpillar of the southern birdwing. Let me just tell you that the butterfly life cycle has got four different stages. The first stage being the egg, the second being the caterpillar, the third being the chrysalis, and the final stage being the adult. So once a female lays her egg on the post, she just leaves the area. Once she oviposits on the post, her job is over. There is no parental care observing butterflies. So what the caterpillar does is after coming out, it will first feed on the eggshell. That is the first food of most of the caterpillars. They feed on the eggshell, and then they start feeding on the host plant. So here you can see a caterpillar of southern birding, a final instar caterpillar, actually cutting the host climber. In Kannada, we call it as Ishwara Belli. Ishwara Belli is host for southern birdwing, crimson rose, and common rose. Totally, there are three butterflies which breed on Ishwara Belli. The scientific name is Aristolochia indica. So you can see this final instar caterpillar, which is about to go to the next stage. Okay, it doesn't require food anymore. It is completely, it is fully grown caterpillar. It is completely eaten, and it is going to stop eating. But before that, it cuts off the stem of the Aristolochia indica. This is to avoid competition, so that no other female southern birding would lay the eggs in this vicinity. Okay, so the territorial behavior, is observed right here now. The males usually don't allow other males to come to the territory, but this caterpillar is actually safeguarding its territory by cutting the host, so that no other southern birding would breed in its territory to avoid competition later. This was one more interesting thing where the caterpillar was about to pupate. After fully feeding, it was about to pupate. So it makes some silk thread at the anterior end and the posterior and the silk pad for the support before it goes to the pupation stage. And there were weaver ants which used to visit this pupation area of the caterpillar. And fortunately for the caterpillar, they didn't attack the caterpillar. So weaver ants are known to kill once they spot the caterpillar southern birding, they're known to kill the caterpillar and eat it up. But fortunately, luckily for this caterpillar, it survived, and a butterfly, a fresh, healthy butterfly, it closed out of the adult. Here you can see the pupation, just before the pupation process, the skin ruptures at the top the dorsal area and it starts rupturing and coming out. So here's a screenshot from the video live documentary Life of Butterflies, where the southern birdwing, just taking the first flight, puts out the meconium fluid completely out of its body. So you can see this meconium fluid being captured in the documentary also when the jungle gorgeous came there. You can see the empty exoskeleton of the southern birdwing. This is one more unusual thing what we observe. So normally it is the male milkweed butterflies which are known to alkaloid suck. But interestingly, there's a female which was sucking alkaloid from the droppings of the caterpillar just below the post, just below the alkaloid plant. This is something unusual. One more scene which comes in the movie Life of Butterflies is the blue nawab being attacked by a weaver ant. The weaver ants are usually aggressive ants, and it's also
Sammilan,
yeah.
can you just also brief about the mud puddling of the butterflies? Since you are showing those images,
Yeah.
can you just brief? Is it seasonal or how does it happen?
Certainly, I'll talk
Mud,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
here you can see the ant which has got the proboscis of the blue nawab. Blue nawab is a very rare butterfly, and it was first recorded in the butterfly park in the year 2013. And the second record is in the year 2015. And you can see there's a weaver ant with a spotted proboscis. And you can see in the next video, the butterfly actually kicks the weaver ant, and the weaver ant runs away from the area.
Okay.
One more interesting observation during the filming of the life of butterflies was here you can see in the frame two red spot tube butterflies. The upper one is a female, just below that is a male. And the female actually showed dominancy. You can look at the next video. He refrains a counterattack. This was actually the feeding ground of the red spot tubes. He refrains a counterattack and he flies away. Here's a Tawny Raja female. When if you look at the hind wing of this butterfly, it was cut in the shape of the beak of the bird. So that's an indication that this butterfly escaped the bird attack. Uh, so this is the host for the butterfly called output leaf. You can see this female laying eggs here. So these are the eggs of the tawny coastal butterfly. There is a dicama ant which is attacking the caterpillar of the Tamil nation. We have shown the entire sequence of this dicama ant attacking the caterpillar and taking this away, and it actually finished all the caterpillars of the Tamil nation. The Tamil nation is a very beautiful butterfly, and it is endemic to Western Ghats. Here you can see one more dicama ant which attacked the caterpillar of the tree spot grass yellow, and it takes it. Um, Single-handedly. You can see this Malabar banded swallowtail in the photo, the screenshot. Here you can see the Malabar banded swallowtail stacking the eggs one above the other. Okay? In Western Ghats, we have around 339 species of butterflies, and the country harbors around 1,200 species of butterflies. And this Malabar banded swallowtail, what you're seeing in the photo, is a butterfly which is endemic to Western Ghats and belongs to the swallowtail family of butterflies. Swallowtails normally have tail on their hind wing. And this butterfly is stacking the eggs one above the other, forming that unique structure, unique tower-like structure. Only two
Okay.
butterflies in Western Ghats have got such a unique egg-laying behavior. One is a Malabar banded swallowtail, other one is Tamil leo. One more video which comes in the documentary is where the praying mantis is waiting for the butterfly to come on the flower. The butterfly here, what you're seeing is a tailed jay. Tailed jay is one of the fastest flying butterflies in India. And you can see how easily the mantis catches this tailed jay in the next bit. There's a crab spider waiting on the lanterna flash, very patiently waiting for the butterfly to get close to it. In the next video, I think we don't have this screenshot, but the spider was successful in catching the grape ants. The butterfly vision is not that good as ours. They got a blood vision. Of course, they're very sensitive to movement, but they cannot see anything which is very well camouflaged or anything which is not moving, lying motionless. So this ambush hunter, the crab spider, was successful in attacking the grape ants. Butterflies are normally attacked by ants. We saw in the screenshots, in the previous screenshots, how a weaver ant had caught the blue number butterfly. So it is just pretty normal for the ants to attack and kill the caterpillars, to eat up the butterflies, or eat the eggs, or eat up the chrysalis of the butterfly. But interestingly, they actually are known to protect one family of butterfly, that is Lycinidae. Lycinidae are commonly called as blues. They have the caterpillars of the Lycinidae butterflies and the ants have a very interesting symbiotic relationship. So this is the caterpillar on the western center of blue. We have shown the entire life cycle of the western center of blue, how the female lays the eggs, and how these ants actually protect the caterpillar from parasitic wasps and other small insect predators, and how they guard this guard the pupa, and how they welcome the inclusion of the butterfly from the pupal case. So there is a reason why this ant protect this caterpillar. Here you can see one of the reasons is that the caterpillar produces a very sweet honeydew secretion, which is given to the ant as a protection fee. In return, the ant should protect the caterpillar like their own larva. You can see the screenshot, video screenshot of the ant taking the honeydew secretion from the caterpillar, which is produced by the caterpillar and given to the ants as a protection fee. This is a caterpillar of the common ciliate blue, and the ant is taking the honeydew secretion from the same. This was very unusual. Normally, I told you right, the ants actually protect the caterpillars of the Lycinidae butterflies. They have a symbiotic relationship. This was very unfortunate to see that one of the ants actually took the caterpillar and like pierced it actually damaged the caterpillar of the common ciliate too. So normally they are known to carry them gently inside the ant nest. They're known to place the caterpillar inside the ant nest. But here you can see they actually damage the caterpillar and they almost kill the caterpillar of the Lycidia butterfly, that is of the common ciliate group. This was very unusual. Normally we don't see this happen in the field. This was also completely video documented. Uh,
Sammilan,
yeah.
there is no mechanism for the caterpillar to protect itself from the ants.
No, the caterpillar is defenseless on its. Now, some of the isolated caterpillars, produce honeydew secretion, which can make the ants work like their servants. The secretion carries such components which makes the ants work for them, and they
Okay,
work according to their orders. But not necessarily it might work all the time for the caterpillar of the Lycididae butterflies,
okay,
or else the caterpillar might be defenseless if there is an attack launched by the. It is only with the help of chemical signals or with the honeydew secretion what the caterpillar gives to the ants. The ants are actually fooled sometimes. Some of the times, the caterpillars of the Lycididae butterfly they actually release chemical signals of pheromones, which are similar to the chemical signals released by the larva of the ants. And the ants get fooled. The ants get a feeling that the caterpillar is their own larva.
okay.
So here was some shooting photos from my shoot. So I used this chair to shoot the southern body, the first flap of the southern body. Use the slider there. Okay, I just spoke about the movie Life of Butterflies, how it happened, how it started, and when it was released, and what are the moments I enjoyed during the shoot. This was all about the movie Life of Butterflies. So now let us come to the butterfly part in Belware. My journey with butterflies started during my college days, but my interest to start a butterfly conservation part was because of a book written by the Butterfly Man of India, Isaac Kemper, who was the deputy director of Bombay Natural History Society, who was popularly known as the Butterfly Man of India. And his book actually inspired me to start this conservation work in 2011. And we put a sample piece. Let me just show you some of the photos during those initial days. This was my first photograph of the Malabar banded peacock with Kodak EasyShare 0275. This was way back in 2009. We had a wild patch of Clerodendron viscosa in the backyard. You can see that white flowers. We call it as itio in local language, and we had this white bag, and there are a lot of butterflies which used to visit this. And one of them was the Malabar banded peacock, as you can see in the photo, which fascinated me the most. And I used to wait for us together to capture this butterfly, which is to visit this Clerodendron viscosa patch. This butterfly has got metallic shine on the upper side, and it gives two different colors, anything from metallic blue to green, depending on the angle what you see the butterfly. This
This
was the book.
plant is wild plant, is it?
It's a wild plant. It
Okay.
grows near roadsides. It grows at the edge of the forest. Also, it grows in open areas.
Okay. It's
So yes.
okay.
Uh, okay. This was a book which inspired me to start my conservation work. The book of Indian butterflies, which was published by Bombay Naturalistic Society. And this was the initial days where we started collecting seeds of the host and nectar plants along with the saplings. And there are many people who has helped us in this collection. This is the aerial view of the place. Even my mom supported me the most. She was also fascinated by butterflies, and this was accidentally we could see some butterflies when we used to cut. We have jackfruit trees at home, and we used to cut jackfruit and keep them aside. You will see some of the interesting butterflies like red spot dew, clipper coming on that. You can also see the common barons in the photo. Common barons are very common butterflies. We have a cruiser in the pic. Also, these photos, the cruiser photo was captured by my mom. Rest was with my digital camera, but I can share. So this was when we started the Habitat in 2011, and my mom and my brother supported me in this unique effort. There was also great support coming out from my friends, butterfly enthusiasts across the nation. Also gave extended their support. Media played a very important role in promoting our work on conservation. Udayani, one of the leading Kannada daily, was the one which published our work. Then there are other magazines or newspapers which promoted our work. Here are the first visitors in the butterfly habitat, Isha Akbar and his brother Adil, as you can see. I visited Olakarwadi Butterfly Garden. That was one of the butterfly gardens I visited before I started this work in the year 2011. You can see in the middle, in the center, Rajan.
Where is this butterfly garden?
It is at Thane, near the Suraj Water Park in Thane. There's a
Okay.
butterfly garden. If you Google Oil Karawadi Butterfly Garden, you'll get the exact map location. The most inspiring personality, of course, Butterfly Man
Isaac.
of India, sir. Rajendra sir visited in 2012, and he gave a lot of inputs to start the butterfly habitat. Here, this was a memorable moment. I still feel nostalgic looking at this photo when we met Hanish, one of the leading enthusiasts, or I can call him as an expert also, who inspired many like me to start the conservation work of create butterfly habitats. So this was in 2013. The study fields what we had. We put many nectar plants. Along with that, we also planted host plants. We also left intact a lot of plants which grew by itself. So you need not actually plant them; they come by themselves, which are actually the host plant of the butterflies. And the butterfly park was inaugurated for public viewing in August 18, 2013. Here is Mr. Isaac Keliko, sitting butterflies after the inauguration at the Butterfly Park. Let me just highlight on the few facts about the Butterfly Park Belwai. The Butterfly Park that was started in 2011 is situated at Belwai village, Dakshina Kannada district, Karnataka, officially inaugurated 2013. 7.35 acres have been dedicated. It's a natural habitat for butterflies and other wildlife forms, and no dome or enclosure is maintained. Propagation of more native plants related to butterflies is still in progress. We work to inspire the general public and students and to conserve the native flora mostly. We have recorded more than 150 species of butterflies in the butterfly habitat. This was during the Times Square show, featuring our work in Amazing Indians programs. So we have kind of a seminar hall where we do talk to the students. And show them some videos. We have been till date we have been educating schools, general public. For government schools, it's free of cost. They need not pay anything. You have to book in advance and visit the butterfly park, and the students will get a practical exposure as well as theoretical knowledge. A lot of discussions, interactions takes place with the students. Here are some of the photos from the park. So let me just show you some of the photos from the park. This butterfly is gaudy female. So butterflies come on variety of food stuff. It's not necessarily they get attracted to nectar in the flower. They come on rotten fruits. They come on bird droppings. They get attracted to mammalian droppings. They come on human sweat because your sweat is rich in sodium. They come on wet soil patches. That's what we call this mud bunny. And Chandra sir explained about mud puddling behavior of the butterflies. It is actually the season for mud puddling now. The season
Okay.
reaches. It starts from the month of January, usually the puddling, and it reaches peak in March, April, and May. And you see a lot of butterflies mud puddling in the river banks at the edge of the Western Ghats. Okay. We also conduct summer walks every year
No, this,
to understand.
sorry, Samilan. This mud puddling activity, does all the butterflies do, all species of butterflies, they do this, or only certain species?
Not all the species. There are some vivid mud puddlers like common blue bottle, common jay. There are other hundreds of butterflies with mud puddle, but there are some butterflies which might not puddle also. It's not
Okay.
necessarily that all the butterflies should puddle. There are some butterflies which are vivid puddlers, like the butterflies which I mentioned, the common albatross. Usually, you see common albatross, the blue bottles, common jays puddling in large numbers. Also, there might be other butterflies depending on the region,
And I have
where
also and I have also seen number of species of butterflies mud puddling together, different
yeah.
species.
Yes,
Yeah.
mud puddling is a social activity seen in butterflies, where hundreds
Okay.
of thousands of them gather near the river banks. So it's not necessarily one or two. You can also see sometimes one or two mud puddling, but usually mud puddling is I call it to be a social activity where different species all come together to puddle in one particular place near the river
Correct.
banks to get salts and other minerals from the right soil patches, which would basically help in a better reproductive success. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Here's a butterfly called autumn leaf, a female autumn leaf. All these pics are from the butterfly park, and you can see the courtship ritual of the common mormon, a very common butterfly. I think almost all of you here have seen this particular butterfly, the common mormon. Here, the male is displaying and is trying to impress the female. One with the crimson kind of patches on the hind wing is a female form Romulus, and the male is displaying and trying to impress her. This is a mating of the striped tiger. The laying of the Malabar banded solitaire, which is endemic to Western Ghats. Here's the egg of the southern bobby, a macro shot. Uh, the first meal of the caterpillars of autumn leaf. I told you, right? The caterpillars will come out of the egg by feeding on its own eggshell, and they have to completely feed on the eggshell for two reasons. One reason is the eggshell is nutritious. Second reason is that if it is left like that, it can grab the attention of the parasitic wasps, which might come and lay eggs upon the body of the caterpillar. So they have to clear the evidence. So here's a caterpillar of the southern birding, a very tiny caterpillar feeding on its own eggshell. Here's a caterpillar which is ready to pupate. It is woven the silk thread at the anterior end. You can see the silk thread. It is made of hundreds of threads, which is done by the caterpillar to make a single thick thread. And at the posterior end, you can see the silk pad, which is done by the caterpillar to attach itself at the posterior end. So it can detach and attach itself. It's a kind of Velcro mechanism, what you see in the silk pad, and then it becomes a pupa. So this is the pupa of the southern bird wing. It's a butterfly southern birdie emerging out of the pupa. So I think I already mentioned about it. The closing out of the pupa is a voluntary process. It is the butterfly which decides whether to come out or not, depending on the conditions outside. So only if the conditions are favorable, they will emerge out, or else they can stay inside the pupa for months together till the conditions gets favorable. Okay.
Oh,
So here is the male southern birdie, which is just come out of the pupal case, and it will take its first flight within about 2 to 3 hours. It's a meconium fluid which is released by the southern birdie before taking the first flight. This is the state butterfly of Karnataka, the photo of the southern birdie, male and female. The female is following the female in his territory. This photo was taken by Sanjay Pandey. Here's a male and female southern birdie. This was the butterfly, the Malabar banded peacock, the logo of the butterfly park, the state butterfly of Kerala, one of the iconic butterflies found in the Western Ghats, endemic to Western Ghats. Here are some of the photos. This is a state butterfly of Maharashtra, the blue mormon. It takes a citrus species. Here is a mud paddling photo of the butterfly. It is sitting on the wet soil patches. This photo was taken from the butterfly park. All the photos what I'm showing you are taken from the butterfly park. This is an orange olive. This is the 150th record in the butterfly park. This is an Indian portrait. The bushhopper, common grass gun. So these are taken in Canal, AGD and 70. More states, the banded blue PRO. So usually these Lycaenidae butterflies, they have this black tunnel spot, on the hind wing, which gives an appearance of a head, and on the tail, the antenna-like projections just below this tunnel spot. It makes it deceives any predator. The predator thinks the rear end to be the front end. They might attack on the wing. The butterfly wings might be lost, but they get a life. This is one more beautiful, interesting species, the banded royal Rachana jagindra, the yamfly, the celestine acacia blue, the blue nava. So these are some of the photos from the butterfly park. Let's spot the female. Earlier on was a male, let's spot you. This is a birdie bear on female. This is autumn leaf female with the closed wings.
you can go a
Autumn
bit
leaf.
slow, I think. We
Oh,
can
is it
enjoy
okay?
the
Sorry, sorry.
a little slow if you can,
Okay, okay.
so that we can enjoy the beauty of the
Yeah. So this is a blue oak leaf. When the wings are folded, it almost looks like a leaf. People who have visited Western Ghats for butterflies, many of you might have encountered this butterfly. It normally prefers shade, don't come in open areas. This almost looks like a dry leaf. One of the techniques to escape threats go unnoticed by a predator. This is one more beautiful butterfly. A very common butterfly in the butterfly park, mainly in the month of August and September. Even though June is normally the season, August and September you see the butterfly activity at the peak, and you will see plenty of clippers in August September. The very common butterflies during August and September, and very beautiful butterflies. This is Commander, one of the commonest butterflies found. The host is Musanda. Musanda is normally planted as a garden plant at parks or in homes also. You see Commander as a common butterfly. So mostly after the pre-monsoon showers, you see the commanders breeding on Musanda almost at every place. This is Southern Duffer. Sorry for this. The trap spider, which is called a common Jezebel. Trap spiders normally sit on the flowers, waiting for the butterflies to come. This great eggfly, male caught by the trap spider. There is the gentle spider, female, which is called the red-winged butterfly. So, another importance of butterflies in nature is that they form a very important part of the food web. They become food for predators like birds, praying mantids, butterflies, dragonflies, frogs, lizards. That's one more important. Apart from helping in pollination, of course, the bees are the major pollinators. but butterflies also play a significant role in pollination. Here you see the caterpillar of the southern birdwing, and you can see the cocoons of the parasitic wasp. The parasitic wasps play a very important role in controlling the birdwing population, because the birdwing, normally being toxic, are not attacked by predators like birds, because they are distasteful or they're toxic. They're distasteful or toxic because they feed on medicinal chain. Ishwara Valli is the host, which makes them toxic. So in that case, there are parasitic wasps which control the birding population here. This was very unusual, where the spider was feeding the eggs of the tawny So normally, the spiders are known to feed on something which is moving, but here it is feeding on something which is immobile. Okay, this was recorded way back in 2013 or 14, I guess. 13 itself. I don't remember exact the year, but it was something interesting to do.
So generally,
Uh,
these spiders do not attack the eggs of the butterflies.
no, no, this was probably the first ever record where the spider was feeding on the eggs of tawny costume.
Okay.
So we work under a trust now, which is named as Sammilan Shetty Butterfly Conservation and Research Trust. So the trust was registered in 2019. Uh, so this is our mantra: save butterflies, save lives. And we work towards creating awareness among the people, and make them understand nature and inspire them to love and protect nature. If you have any questions, you can start asking. We finish up
We
the
were to see
presentation.
some videos.
Yeah, I would like to ask Hardik to play the videos for us. First, we'll play the trailer of the movie Life of Butterflies. Now, first, we'll play the trailer of the movie. After that, we are going to see a short 1 minute video which we have taken from the movie Life of Butterflies along with the narration. So, first of all, we'll see the trailer now. This was the trailer of the movie Life of Butterflies. It was a 3 minute video trailer. I request
But
Hardik to play the second video clip now, which is actually part of the movie, a 1 minute video clip which was taken from the 100 minutes film for you. Okay, please, if Hardik, you can play this video.
Beautiful of them all are the butterflies. Since time immemorial, butterflies have been celebrated for their gorgeous colors and graceful flight. Humanity's fascination for these winged marvels of nature has continued down the ages. They are in fact the gems of evolution and have served our planet for over 200 million years, sharing food with the early dinosaurs. They are nature's die-hard survivors who have learned to adapt and outlive most other forms of life on Earth by a wide margin of millions of years.
Oh, that was a 1 minute clip for you. In case you are interested to purchase this documentary, you can please contact me for this. You will be also shared the download link. You can contact me on my mobile number. You can also contact me on my mail for to purchase the copy of the documentary. I'm sure that after watching this documentary on butterflies, the way you look at butterflies will definitely change. I feel. Thank
yeah, Samilan, I have
you.
a
Yeah.
last question for you. How
Yes.
much of time do you spend in a day for these butterflies in your park?
Um, as far if I'm talking about the movie Life of Butterflies, I used to work when I started shooting for butterflies. I was working as a lecturer in one of the hotel management colleges in Mangalore, and it was only on during government holidays or Sundays I used to get to interact with visitors, take visitors for the guided field tour, and also video document butterflies during that time. Whenever I got some free time, I shoot the butterflies. It was after almost 2 3 years of shooting. The last 2 years, okay, I completely dedicated myself to shoot these butterflies. It was a whole day job shooting butterflies in the field till the documentary was over.
Exactly,
So
that
this
is what I
reason,
see, Exactly, that is
so
what I see because you spend a lot of time shooting this, the whole process from
yes,
the
this is
eggs
all about
to, yeah,
this is all about your interest and passion. When you have this interest, you get this. Patience to shoot, sit in the field for hours together. We are for the last 2 years of the documentary. We had most days spent shooting at night. Also, maybe it is an eclosion of the butterfly in the early morning, or the emergence of the caterpillars from the eggs, or the formation of the pupa during night. So most of these things happen during night. Uh, then I really enjoyed shooting. The toughest task for me was during the documentary making Life of Butterflies was picking up the videos and compiling them, selecting the videos what is shot. This was one thing we should all do. Like whatever videos we shoot, that has to be picked and put it separately on the day that day itself, because if we just forget which are the best shots what we had taken, we
yeah,
just forget it later. It becomes a heavy task to choose again the best videos.
exactly.
So I enjoyed shooting every moment in the field, because every time you venture in the field, you get to learn something new about butterflies. Okay, it's not that even if you're going daily and watching butterflies, it's not that it's the same thing you see. Every time you go, there is something different happening in the field.
Correct. No, this is, total dedication and hats off to you. I think, Hardik, you can bring down questions. Satish has got something to ask. Nandan Hegde, how to identify male and female southern Baldwin
Uh,
butterflies?
See, butterflies, are not all, but some of them exhibit sexual dimorphism. That means the male and female have different wing patterns. You can easily tell whether it is a male or female. Some of the butterflies you might have to look closely, look out for scent pouches, look out for scent scales in males. Some of them you might have to look for the abdominal claspers. That might be very close. You might have to have a very close look. Uh, if you take southern birdwing, the southern birdwing is a good example for sexual dimorphism because the male and female have different wing patterns. The southern birdwing female has got extra row of black spots on the hind wings, which is
Oh,
absent in the male. And also, the size of the southern birdwing female is much larger than of the male southern birdwing. It is, as a general rule, like it is the insect in insects. The females are usually larger in size because they carry eggs. In southern birdwing, it is exceptionally large, the females, when compared to other butterflies. Say, for example, you see grey pansy, chocolate pansy, other butterflies. The sexes are almost similar, and also the size are almost similar, except the cylindrical body size.
okay. All right. Satish H, what is the reason for mud puddling? Only to get energy?
No, yeah, maybe for flight, and also more than that, it basically helps in a better reproductive success. Um, they get salts and minerals, which is given as a nuptial gift to the female uh, when they mate. So there is better reproductive success when they have enough minerals in their body, the males. Okay, it helps to produce healthy individuals. So that is the reason why they mud puddle, and it is most of the times it is a male which mud puddle. It's not necessarily all the time it's a male. There are females also which mud puddle.
Any other questions? Devarta Sangupta. May I know what that I have two lenses from 1650 mm, 210 mm. Are they okay to venture for butterfly shooting?
I feel if you want a very close-up shot, like if you're shooting some eggs or shooting some caterpillars, or the close-up shot of the butterflies, you'll have to require a macro lens, or else a telephoto lens would also do for to shoot butterflies. For the extreme close-ups, you might have to use reverse macro or also filter. We have Ranax 250 filter, which actually help you in giving some good extreme close-up shots of the X or the caterpillar head, whatever. I use 100 mm macro lens. Telephoto lens, any telephoto lens should help you to shoot butterflies. Even you can click wonderful videos and photos just with your mobile phones also.
Right. Before some questions come up, I just want to request you that we have a group in YPS, our macro group. So we would like to make a visit with a group of people
So,
sometime to your park, spend more time with you, understand more about butterflies than photography,
yes,
the
certainly.
life cycle, whatever you have shown us, seeing practically, I think it will be a unique experience for all of us.
Certainly. So you can plan your visit mostly in August or September. That is the time when the butterfly activities at the beach. So if you are also really interested in taking some macro photos, then you can at least spend about 2 to 3 days in the field taking photos, and also along with that, more than learning about butterflies. We also conduct summer walks. We conduct butterfly meets. Summer walks usually it happens in March, where we take the participants to paddling sites in the foothills of the Western Ghats, and also learn about butterflies with sessions from experts in the field.
That's very nice. What about accommodation? You can accommodate people there.
No,
I mean,
we have tie up with the hotels nearby, so
okay,
we'll take care of that. You
okay.
can contact and get the details who are interested.
All right, thank you. Prema had a question. Can you please share names of a few plants to grow in Bangalore home gardens?
Yes, you can put some common plants like lime plants. See, lime plant is host plant for up to four species of butterflies. Once you plant lime plants, you'll see the common marmon coming and visiting your garden. You'll see lime swallowtail coming. You can also see the blue marmon. You can see the lime blue coming. And when you put some curry leaf, you'll see common marmon, lime swallowtails, and if you put some false shoka near your area, I think Bangalore already has got a lot of false shoka trees, Polyanthe longifloria. That's the reason why the tail is pretty common in the area. You can put nectar plants like Ixora. You can put nectar plants like red hibiscus. You can plant some Durenta. You can plant some soapnut plants. You can plant Agnimantha, Premna ceratifolia. If you are located in the Western Ghats, you can put a lot of Lea indica. And also, you can go for some ornamental lantana. Don't to go for wild lantana. We've been removing wild lantana because they've been very invasive. But we can grow some ornamental climber lantana. It doesn't actually produce seeds. You get it in the nursery. More than that, you will have to conserve the natural forest which is already existing. That's very important. More than that. So if you conserve the native trees and plants which is already existing in the area, that would in fact help in sustaining the butterfly population in the area.
You are mentioning about your secondary forest in your park area. So,
Yes, yes.
have you planted this host plants
No, the
there?
secondary
No.
forests were naturally formed. So
Okay.
majority of the trees, what we have in the 4 acre secondary forest is Hopia Bunga. In Kannada we call it as Karibogi. In Tulu we call it as Karmana. So this is naturally formed. So apart from that, you have the host of the Malabar banded peacock, which is naturally formed, the Xanthocerum redsa. You have Kerea arborea. Yeah, you have a lot of other plants which are naturally formed, Xanthocerum ovalifolium. You need not cultivate them; they're already there. You'll
All
have to
right.
just conserve the plants which are existing, and you'll have to remove some of the invasive species, especially the wild nectarines can be removed. And also we have Euphotorium or flask flag, what we call that is pretty invasive. That also needs to be removed because or else it will kill the diversity of the area. So you have to work on propagating native plants and provide habitat, create habitat out of the native plants, native flora. Then you'll see the local butterfly population sustaining. If you want to see milkweed butterflies visiting your home gardens, you can put some alkaloid-rich plants the Crotalaria species, where the male milkweed butterflies come for alkaloid sucking. You will see them in huge numbers. When you have a lot of alkaloid-rich plants, these milkweed butterflies will come in great numbers. We have a Heliotropium indicum, one more alkaloid-rich plant here in the Western Ghats. But there you can put some alkaloid-rich plant like Crotalaria, which attract many milkweed butterflies.
All right. Thank you. We have one last question. Madhusudan Rao is asking, do you see any interest from forest department in your work? Are they inspired to do anything good by themselves?
Many people from the department officers have visited the butterfly park. They have encouraged a lot, given me a lot of moral support, and also the local forest body. Maybe it is a forest we had by name for the forest guard Basavaraj with us in Bengaluru. We had Mr. Prakash Shetty, who have been providing us plants uh, to put in the butterfly park in the paddy fields. We have planted a lot of Xanthosalum red sap. It was all provided by the forest department. We have been supported with the saplings by the forest department. The plants which were endemic to Western Ghats, some which are the host plant of butterflies, they provided us with the plants. Uh, there are there is good support from other officers also, uh, including Mr. Rutre, who is a present DCF of Tourism Wildlife Division. So we can getting good support from the forest department also. We get recognized by the forest department for our work.
You have already mentioned that you're also getting good support from the media. So that's a very
Yeah.
good thing. There is when public awareness is there,
Yes. Yes.
it will help the conservation.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Samilan. We have one more question from Sen Gupta. As we consider that birds are the best found early in morning, before dark, is there such any time for butterflies?
Yeah, butterflies are usually active when there's complete light coming out because the butterflies are cold-blooded creatures. They cannot generate their own body temperature, so they're dependent on the surrounding temperature. So when there is good warmth, the metabolism increases. So butterflies thrive on butterflies are more active on a sunny day. If it is cloudy or if it is continuously raining, the metabolism drops. The, you don't see much butterfly activity. So the best time to watch butterflies in the field, I'd say, is like 8 to 11. That's a golden time to watch butterflies in the field.
Yeah, thank you. Yokesh Bogashi. What are good spots in Western Ghats for butterfly photography? Is the season same August, September?
June to normally the season of the butterfly farm. June, July, normally it's heavily raining. You won't get to see much of butterflies in both Ghats. Or else in the entire stretch of the Western Ghats, everywhere you go, you see the endemic species, you see butterfly activity. So there are some, of course, there are some puddling spots in some of the areas like maybe this Someshwara, Wildlife Sanctuary, or you go to Kirwashi, or whatever places. In the entire line at foothills, you see the butterfly activity. It's not necessarily that you have to go to a particular place. So wherever you go in Western Ghats, wherever you see the river flowing, the river banks can attract budding butterflies. Other butterflies in the foothills also can be seen in the entire stretch. So it's not necessarily that you have to go to a particular place to see butterflies. But of course, there are some puddling sites in the foothills which you need to know. So Someshwara is one of the spots where you see the puddling butterflies
All right.
and other areas, of course.
We have any more questions, Hardik? Uh, Prema Kakade. How are the insecticides impacting the butterfly population?
Insecticides, in fact,
I think
pesticides,
that's
which
a
is
good
herbicide.
question.
If even if you take herbicide can kill the host plant of the butterflies. Insecticides can kill the butterfly, kill the caterpillar, destroy the pupa, or destroy the eggs also. Insecticides can hinder the butterfly population to some extent wherever it is spread. But more than that, destruction of the habitat is a major threat.
Any more questions? Our H. Satish, President, what is the reason that all butterflies come to your area in Belavi and not other place? Is it only because you have host plants?
No, not necessarily. See, butterflies are found everywhere in the foothills or in the coastal strip of the Western Ghats. So But the concentration of butterflies is more because there is presence of a lot of host plant, and there are patches of nectar plants which attract more number of butterflies in one place. But it's not necessarily in the season you see butterflies only at the butterfly park. But butterflies are found in the entire stretch. So wherever there is flowering patch, you see more number of butterflies than in the obvious. Visiting to butterfly park is not only about seeing butterflies, but it is a learning experience for
Yes,
you to understand what butterflies are and how do they thrive in nature and how important they are, what role do they play in nature.
correct. Okay, friends, this was a unique experience. I think all these days, we have seen only beautiful pictures of the butterflies. So we had a very good experience by Sammilan Shetty, who has shown the video and he has given the entire details, how the life of butterfly. So it was very nice. From my side, Hardik, I think you can take over.
Yeah, thank you, Tanusar, sir. And thank you so much, Sammilan. It was a really wonderful presentation and probably an eye opener
Namaskar.
about why the butterflies. And I have one last question. Like we hear a lot of terrace gardening. Can we have the terrace gardening in such a way that we attract butterflies? I mean, is there a particular thing what we need to keep in mind if you want to do that?
Certainly, you can attract butterflies in your terrace gardens. So wherever you put a plant which is a host plant of butterflies, the butterfly will come searching for it. Oh, okay. If you take,
Hardik, Hardik is talking about my terrace garden, I think.
Yeah, probably we can replicate. I wish I can replicate the
No,
same.
no,
terrace
incidentally,
gardens,
why I mentioned, I had the privilege of Mr. Sambilan visiting my terrace garden. So
Wow.
I have taken some hints from him about the host plants.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good, good, good. Yeah, that's actually
yeah,
anybody can
certainly.
yeah.
anyone can create a butterfly garden in a windowsill, in a terrace garden, or just in a one cent land. Whatever space, even just by putting some plants, host plants, nectar plants in the pots, you can see the butterflies coming.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna experiment that for sure. We have few pots on the terrace, but we haven't really thought about this. But this can be an eye opener, and it is definitely for me and for everyone watching with us
Yeah,
today.
particularly in cities.
Cities. Yeah, yeah.
Particularly in cities where we don't have land to, have plants. Only terrace garden is the option.
True, true, true. Okay.
All
So
right.
coming to the end of session, thank you, Samilan, once again coming to YPS. It was a great
Thank
honor,
you, everybody.
and thank you for your sharing your knowledge with us. And definitely, we would like to visit your beautiful park and have some good time. I'm not much into macro, but I'll try shooting some butterflies on that day. So we are looking forward to that. And thank you so much once again for coming to YPS. And before we close the session, I'll just go over one round of announcements and then we can come to end of the session. So, starting with Drishti, the Jan edition is available, and the important part is that you don't need to log in, to download the copy. All you need to do is go to the website and click on Drishti stand, and you can download your copy. And more than that, do leave us a feedback, your review. Uh, that would really help us build or get better content on our YPS journal. And the next YPS Meet live is on March 7th. It is from Mr. Arvind Chenji from Hyderabad, who is a commercial photographer and the current president of TPS, Telangana Photographic Society. We'll be talking about the photography world, the stagnation, trends and stagnation points. It's a talk from presentation. It's going to be an interesting one, so don't miss it out. We will be publishing all the details soon in the coming weeks. If you wish to become a member, all you need to do is scan the QR code or go to our website ypsbengaluru.com and click on become a member. The whole way of becoming a member is digitalized. The whole process is digitalized. And do not forget to follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So do hit the like button and subscribe button, and do not forget to share it with all your friends and family. If you're watching it on Facebook right now, do hit the share button. If you're watching it on YouTube, do hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon and select all notifications so that whenever we schedule live events and we post content, you'll be the first person to get notified. Thank you so much, and see you all on March 7th. And till then, stay home, stay safe. The pandemic is still not over. We are still fighting with it, but do take care all the precautions, and we'll see you on March 7th. Thank you, sir, for joining with us today. It was really
Thank you.
wonderful.
Yeah,
The
Babu.
hardest minute. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes.